Keep unmuting half a second too soon. Chris, how's it going, buddy? My name's Shawn. That's my friend Chris Ford, aka the Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter fame. And welcome to Avatar: The Last Podcasters. This is our Thanksgiving episode, and by episode I mean as long as until I fall asleep in 2 or 3 minutes here. But we want to post something. I firmly believe in trying to post something every week. I don't know why, but I believe that. So we thought we'd pop on and say hi to each other.
I firmly believe it was a religion. When I tell people, whenever I describe, I firmly believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. That's the only time I ever used the term firmly believe.
I think it's because I get so upset when my favorite podcasts just don't post anything for a week. I'm offended. How dare you? I don't pay anything for these podcasts, Chris, but I act like I do, man.
There's one podcast that I do pay a Patreon for because support $3.
I have one. Yep. I have one Patreon podcast.
I'm like, there's no episode this week. I need a refund, but really, though, all right, if you need a break, take a break, guys.
I have one, and I joined the low tier Patreon because then they let you in their Discord server, which is Chris. I know we just kind of recently started using Discord, but I kind of like it. It's very conversational in the sense of instead of a chat where you feel like you're trying to keep up, it's just an ongoing message board with a lot of strangers where that happens to be related to the things in the podcast.
Antoine by the way, who's we talked about before, has his own YouTube channel. It's very Avatar related. Check him out, really great. He's also a very qualified author. He kept being like, "Hey, you should get on Discord." And I'm like, maybe. I still never got on. I should get on just to have more conversations about anything.
I wish it were easier to find communities on Discord. I'm only in 2 communities, and one is, or 2 servers is probably what they're called. And one is me and my friends that just literally us playing games, literally turning our screen on and playing a game on Discord. Then somebody else will jump on and be like, "Hey, how are you?" And then also that podcast Discord server. Because other ones I've tried felt not gatekeepy, but it's man, these people already got a relationship, and now I'm just jumping in and reading their messages. That's weird, you know?
Yeah.
But it's cool. I like Discord. I really hope nobody big buys it. Chris, speaking of things that we like and or are grateful for having in our lives in 2022, I thought, why not toss out our 2022 things, nerd-wise or otherwise, that we are thankful for. And that's it. That's the only. I'm creatively bankrupt as I force feed this episode out there to appease our Patreon fans. That's a fun little joke right there.
Chris, you should download Google Keep. Never mind. Conversation over that. What am I doing? How many of these are we doing?
As many as you feel like, Chris. I'm gonna start and just say I'm thankful that you are still willing to do this podcast with me, because we've been doing this 4 years now. 4 years, which is a long time, and I'm thankful that we have we would find an excuse regardless. But if there's one thing that makes me really grateful for Avatar Studios coming up and the live action series being present, is it's the built-in structure to work toward or work through. We would have found an excuse anyway, but I'm grateful that we have all of the ammo in the world to continue our podcast together in 2022, and a lot of that stuff developed in 2022. The fact that live action Avatar survived the pandemic, and that Avatar Studios popping up, that was all 2022. So it was a good year for our podcast's future in that sense.
Yeah, definitely agree. For me, thing I think of right now is just action figures. I just love repainting action figures and customizing them, and it's so much fun. It's so distracting. But I started last year doing that, and it's just continued. And it'll end at some point. I think whenever it ends, I might get back into YouTube. But I just been enjoying it a lot.
I think the next obvious thing that comes to mind is I'm grateful that you just randomly decided to email the Planet Comic Con people and be like, "Hey, can we have a panel?" Because that was really cool to have a panel and then to have it go well. So like, I'm glad that one day you're just like, I'm gonna see how this goes, which you probably technically asked in 2021, but the panel happened in 2022. That was great. That was fantastic. That was like a
That's like
top five
honestly,
highlight year moment.
that might be like one of the greatest things I ever done outside of like serious
Yeah,
things.
like family and sort of
Yeah,
profession aside. Yeah.
I think we should be able to do it again. I already,
Yeah, we're
filled
gonna
out
pro
everything.
bend in the room. Remember?
Yeah.
Um.
They're still asking for sign-ups, so I'm guessing, they have more open space, and I'm guessing, they should know. I don't think that we were one of the most popular. We were probably the most like popular one that wasn't like a
One of the most popular randos jumping in to do
yeah,
this stuff.
wasn't like a celebrity came in and or a artist or something. But
And then, Chris, I got one more. I'm just going to segue into it because they're kind of related. Is that I'm grateful that in
yeah.
2022, we've, like, at least in Heather and I, we've mostly returned to doing things normally, like, quote unquote, life kind of sort of back to normal. Obviously, we support vaccinations and we're doing all those things, but, like, I've gone to, Planet Comic Con. I've gone to video game, like, swap meets, football games, like all those. I don't love leaving the house for stuff, but there's like a handful of those things that I really miss doing, and I've basically gotten to do all those again in 2022. And so I'd say that's my last big thing is like me and Heather have gotten to go do those things again, and that made
Mm.
2022 feel a little more like a real year.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, Another thing for me is the Batman. So even though I feel like it came out such a long time ago, it came out in March.
Does
Love the Batman. I rewatched it on a sick day probably a couple months ago at this point. I just really love my rewatch of it. Love the movie even more.
How did you not say Black Adam, Chris? You not grateful for the masterpiece that is Black Adam?
It was fine. It was fine, whatever.
I've
I weirdly feel sorry for rich people sometimes. I'm just like, you know what? This kind of wasn't like the big win that The Rock wanted it to be. Like the movie probably won't make over 400 million, and considering it costs like at least 200, I want to say like 220 something, and then you add on marketing expenses, like it's not going to profit.
it
But
you almost I Chris, I can't think of a heavier drop off from like such hard marketing, like just punching me in the face on football, on YouTube, on all of the things that I watch. Just and I'm probably
yeah,
the target market, right? I'm kind of nerdy and I like The Rock. That's probably in my YouTube search and everything. Like I'm the right market for the movie or whatever. Just being punched in the face for like a month straight with just nothing but Black Adam ads. And then as soon as it hit theaters, nothing. Nothing. Fell off the face of my advertising universe completely. And I always feel like that's a really bad sign for a movie. It's like, we got their money.
yeah, yeah. But
um,
oh.
the Batman, really good movie. And I also glad it led to me getting to meet John. That was very exciting. One of the best, I'm going to say one of the most interesting sounding movies I've ever watched, period. Just I'm going to say, I think I probably said the words that like crunchy, just
Yeah.
if there was, I don't normally, I'm not like a cinephile. I watch crappy TVs and I use crappy TV speakers. If there's ever a movie that made me want like really high end surround sound that I'm glad I saw in theaters, that's probably the first
Mm-hmm.
time where I really felt like I noticed the difference in a good way.
Yeah. Another thing I'm grateful for is the Sandman, I really love that. I really need to rewatch it. It was really good.
I still haven't. Do I need to?
And
I think you told me to. I'll do it sometime.
yeah, yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. And they were greenlit for season two, so that's great. Oh, another thing. Uh, House of the Dragon, like Game of Thrones is back. Like I'm loving it back again.
Yeah, Rings of
Crazy.
Power, House of the Dragon,
I
Sandman,
still
kind
haven't
of
finished
unrelated.
Rings of Power. I still need to finish
Dragon
Rings of Power.
Dragon Prince is back. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm excited for it.
I watched episode one, and then I just didn't. There's something about it that
Oh, that's not a good
I don't
sign.
know. No, it's not like it's just weird going from watching
House of
House
the
of the
Dragon to
Dragon.
Dragon Prince.
And the thing is, I don't want to. It's not like I'm saying like one media is better than the other because you know me, I love
That would be
animation. I
backwards for
think
you in
Avatar
a
Last
very literal
Airbender.
way.
So
Yes.
yeah. Um, but like it's just like they'll be like in a small council meeting, they're like, oh, here's the hand of the baker or whatever. Like it's so and so's birthday. Hey, let's celebrate. While like House of the Dragon council meetings are like, they killed who? I'm like we have to kill this person. It's just a weird shift that my brain I
You
don't think
probably
is
shouldn't
ready
watch
for.
those back to back. You should probably put some space in between
Yeah.
those things. Well, but hey, it's a if you are a nerd, it's a pretty good year to be into like nerdy high fantasy stuff, though. In general, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Chris, that's
pretty good.
that's why I got grateful for a lot of things, including all the normal, mushy family, home, roof over my head, wife stuff. Right? Also, y'all know that.
Yeah.
Chris, thanks for sharing some of your other not too mushy ones. Hey, let us know your favorite nerdy things about 2022 that you're glad they're here. Let us hear about them. Otherwise, have a happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, Thanksgiving. I forgot what holiday I was talking about there. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Be safe. Enjoy it. Thanks for
Enjoy the
watching our
Christmas
show. We're
season.
grateful for you.
Let's start right on November 1st.
Yeah. We're very grateful that you spend any amount of time with us whatsoever, because as John Mulaney says, it's so much easier to not do something than it is to do something. It's ridiculous.
Yes,
It is.
I'm
He's
very
right.
grateful for you guys who watch and comment. Like you guys don't understand, like means a lot. Thank you all.
Like, you're actually voluntarily paying attention to us, and that's really cool. So thank you guys
And they
very
probably
much.
stop watching at this point.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Y'all have a happy Thanksgiving, and if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, you have one heck of a great weekend. Whatever you want to do with it, you do that. Thank y'all very much. I'm Shawn. That's Chris Ford, aka the Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter. This has been Avatar: The Last Podcasters, and we'll see you next time. Air 5. That was nice, Chris. I got it. Good Air 5.
Have you been watching Andor? I hear it's good.
Man, it's football season. I haven't watched anything. And basketball season. It's a great time of year. It's football/basketball.